Thank you. Nothing else? No, we'll continue then. So the first item is the health, safety and wellbeing paper. Any questions, comments? Chris?
Thanks, Chair. Just say thanks very much first, Steve, for putting together this report. I've got just a wee question about working from home, Steve, and just how do the council do that? I know some companies actually do a health and safety assessment within the home. Just how does the Renfrewshire Council deal with that as an operational policy? Thanks.
Thanks for that question, Councillor Gilmer. Just to answer your question there, we would expect everyone to carry out their DSE assessment. It's a mandatory course that everyone does, their DSE refresher course every year. So it's part of the mandatory suite that every employee that's networked should be doing. And once they do that, they should use their DSE assessment as a transportable assessment. So you apply the processes. The HSE took away the differentiation between during COVID, we had a bit of leeway given to all the organisations where you didn't have to have the full kit. We're back to supplying the full kit. So if somebody works from home, they get a chair, they get a desk if they need to, they get a specialist keyboard or mouse. We'll do the assessments, Councillor. We'll expect people to do the assessments. If somebody's got a medical condition and my team are not qualified enough to look at that, we'll bring in our occupational health team and they will give us either a physiotherapist or an ergonomist. Easy to say at this time of the day, an ergonomist to come and have a look at what they're doing and how the impact of that condition is. We do, and those electronic assessments are stored on the Business World system, so they come through. The manager sees it, and if they've got any concerns, then they can forward on to the health and safety team to get further advice. So certainly have that way. So our policy, Councillor, is that people should, if they're working from home, they should do their DSE assessment, and it should be in line with what they expect to do in the office at the same time. And just another point on the report, Councillor Gilmer, just for clarity, Chair, if it's okay if I can add this.
Yes.
Councillor Gilmer had asked for further detail on the incidents and accidents. We're currently putting the quarter 4 statistics. It's taken a wee bit longer this time because quarter 4 finished the 31st of March, but then we had the school holidays as well. So we always do a wee bit of, there's a bit of lag in time so that we can get any incidents in and then record them properly. And once we've done that analysis, we'll bring a proper analysis to the next JCB.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Convener. Appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Mullen?
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Chair. It's just a question on this. You know, the problem we've seen in Glasgow regarding people disposing of vapes and stuff and whatever. What is our kind of policy regarding our halls and say obviously across the road for the council buildings? What's the kind of procedures we've got on this about vapes now?
That is an absolutely excellent question, Councillor Mullen. Thank you for that. The Glasgow Fire actually, and I hate to use this because this sounds like Councillor Gilmer's wrote my script here, but it reignited the conversation about the lithium batteries. We've got a working group. I've spoke with Lindsay Hepburn and Waste. We've got a small working group looking at that. At the moment, the arrangements are people can dispose of vapes and so forth at the household waste recycling centres, or they can take them back to the vape shop as part of their licence. They're supposed to take back the products that they sell. But we do know that obviously with the ban on the single-use items, that some other things are being amended and adjusted so that they can be charged in different ways. So they're ending up in different places. In schools, they're confiscated. And again, we're with this working group. We're looking at how we can manage to get those elements taken away safely. So we're actually actively looking at right now, Councillor Mullen, and I'll come back to this JCB with a full report on it once we've agreed what we do. There's an iLearn course that we've put out already from a health and safety perspective that gives a lot of information about lithium batteries and how we should manage them. Because at the end of the day, the vapes, it's just a small lithium battery that's in there. And when that, although it's small, it's the same as it could be like a mobile phone, and we've had similar instances of mobile phones heating up in offices and schools. And the guidance is on there for us, but it's something we're actively looking at following the Glasgow scenario. So I'll certainly bring a further update to this meeting next time.
That's great. Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, that's really helpful. Just in terms of that, I know it's an issue that a lot of people have got concerns about just now. So thanks, Councillor, for that. Any other questions or comments in relation to item 1? No? No, So item 2 is details of grievances. Do we have any questions or comments? No, nothing. That's fine. We can agree the report. Can we have item 3, agency workers? Questions or comments in terms of that, please? Councillor Mullen?
It's probably people sick of me saying this, but I mean, I look at the number of agency workers we use, like in facilities operatives and stuff, and go, is it just we can't get people to take these jobs on, or what? Because obviously agency must be costing us more than actually we need to pay for to get people in full-time positions. And I'm not criticising anybody, but I'm just trying to work around about all we hear now is people looking for jobs, but they can't get jobs and stuff. And you're looking at this every time we have a meeting about the amount of agency work we use. And I know through the NHS it's not cheap. So I was just wondering what kind of inroads we're meant to try and, obviously you're trying to recruit, but is there anything else we could maybe try and look at? Thank you.
Can I ask who can respond, please? Steve?
I'll respond, councillor, if that's
Thank
okay.
you. Thanks, Ruth.
It was more a general comment, and obviously I'll invite my colleague Chris in to talk about the facility operatives in particular. But I just wanted to point out that this the figures that we're presenting today, there's a reduction of 84 agency workers since the January board. So what we're kind of seeing is we've got a lot less agency workers covering the posts, because what we had previously was sometimes in the kind of social work, social care side, that we were having people come in for one shift, then go, then another one. So the numbers were really horrendous. What we've got now are numbers that are a lot closer to the vacancies and what they're covering, but a reduction of 84 and a reduction of one post that's getting covered. So a lot of the reductions have been in the home care side. So if it's okay, Chris, would you be happy to come in to talk about the facility operatives in particular?
Certainly, Ruth, thank you. Thanks for the councillor. Thanks for the question, Councillor Mullen. I know you were on the finance board this morning, Councillor Mullen, so I won't repeat absolutely everything I said to you at that point. But the amount of work that my team do in that side, and as you've outlined, facilities operatives, we do have a large number of staff in that side. Obviously, Ruth highlighted 477 staff in that side. So whether it be sickness, leave, short-term leave, these are kind of critical posts for us that we need to fill, and we need to fill quickly. And that's sometimes why we use agency staff until we can go through the whole recruitment process. And as Ruth has alluded to over the last couple of boards, it's not just about, they sometimes cover several posts, you know, so it's not a 1-for-1 ratio as we go through. But we always have a constant churn of staff, Councillor Mullen. And it's one of the key things, as I said this morning, that we try and do is make sure that everybody is employed by the council rather than an agency. I would love, like you, for that number to be 0. I don't think we'll ever get it to 0, if I'm being honest, but I am tasking the teams to get it as low as we possibly can and minimise the agency workers, because you're right, the cost of it, I would rather it went to a permanent member of staff, but hopefully that helps, Councillor Mullen.
Thanks, Chris. That's your usual honesty. Thank you.
Really helpful from my perspective. I think as well, I mean, the aspiration to get agency down to 0 should always be there, but you have sickness, you have vacancies that you have to cover through other things, so very difficult on short notice to get those covered if you don't have the internal resource available there and then. But absolutely, looking certainly at the use of agency coming down from my perspective has been really helpful, because that's a significant drop from the previous period. So thanks very much for that. Any other questions or comments? Nothing at all. So I think that's us until the next meeting, which I don't think there's a date at the bottom of it, but I think it was the 11th of June from memory. Is that correct?
That's right, Councillor Ellie Nicholson, yes.
Yes. Just for myself to thank everybody for attending.
Welcome,
And I hope you have a lovely afternoon.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks, Chair.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.